Hey you guys, welcome back to the Hotshot Haven, man. Coming to you again with more informative content. Now we're gonna get to some real mechanical work that may help some of y'all on y'all way as you rebuild trailers and everything. But I'm gonna show y'all a little bit in depth of how I'm going to rebuild the GATORMADE 16K gooseneck trailer, non-CDL trailer. It is for sale. When it is completed, it will be $14,000. It will be brand new from the front to the back. Every single nut and bolt. Every single nut and bolt. Every single part. Every equalizer. Every nut and bolt. Every bearing. Every seal. The drums have been resurfaced. The brakes are brand new. Never adjust 8K. Shocker hitch included. Light bar. With turn signal. Low light. Mega ramps. 30 plus 5. Now I'm gonna take y'all with me for a second and let y'all take a peep at what some lucky person will be getting, where they will have some longevity out of this thing and get some real money in their pocket without being on the side of the road. And I'm gonna make sure that, because y'all know I keep it 100 when it comes down to this maintenance work, this mechanical work. I am that guy. It is my thing. Time to get started. The first order of business is to drop both axles. We're going to drop the rear one first, and then we're going to get to the front one. The front one is going to receive new bushings in the springs, and the rear one will be completely rebuilt. The front one will also be completely rebuilt. We will have new springs, new bushings, new equalizers, new U-bolts, new brakes, reconditioned drums, brand new bearings, seals, and the wiring from the front to the back. 6 months. Gusset broke. Inside watered out. Equalizer. The bolt sawed in half. How long you think that was gonna last? This trailer wasn't even being used for about 8-9 months. About 9 months. Like I told you, when I said every nut and bolt under this trailer gonna be brand new. Oh, I mean it. I mean it. Oh, very Christmas to me. Ooh, them national seal, them good seal. Ooh, good seal. Ooh, it's a $500 box right here. This little bottle, $500, boy. They go to old when they get mashed up. Ain't that old going? Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, we got extras for you, but do you both? Yeah. Ain't no cap. When I said I'm getting done, and the hole ain't messed up. Hole still good. Both sides got the square peg in and everything. And you see me, what they'll call in the South, rust free. Rust free. Rust free. Oh man, I got 4 brand new brakes. I got all the bearings. I got good grease. Good grease and all of that there good stuff. Oh wow. Think that might end up being something. As always, you know, I ain't second halfway doing that. Oh, these tires they never touched the ground but about 30 days. 30 days. Oh, okay. Make around slowly but surely. I'm getting my garage back. But guess what? I'm making an awesome trailer to sell one of you guys. When I tell you we putting the work in, I said every nut and bolt that coming down it, cause we do a full rebuild on it. Actually got the brand new, never adjust. I ain't get the cheap regular 8K brakes. I got you on never adjust. Every time you bag up, hold on. Every time you bag up, they readjust.
They seal.
Ain't no cap on mine. Never adjust. With the adjuster, all that automatic shit, brand new. Set. There's about $500 worth of brakes on the lick. That's all so big, man. Man, let's just take a moment to look at that equalizer bolt again, man. That is kind of scary. And you think about this trailer, like 9 months old. It had quite a few miles on it, and I feel like it was imperative to do this. But you might want to check yours on your trailer. Okay, well, let's get down to work, man. The first order of business is to pre-assemble the axle with the suspension so it could be hung from the trailer. We got new U-bolts, new springs, new hardware, all of that. And everything that we're putting on will be undercoated for rust protection. But I would like to make note that I'm building this axle incomplete right here so it can be transferred underneath the trailer. It's just a tip. This axle is heavy, and when it's fully built, it's extremely heavy. So you want to be aware of that when you get ready to move it around, and you want to take it down, protect the axle ends, and hang it under the trailer first before you start to rebuild it, because drums, break in, wheel in parts are extremely heavy, and you'll build this axle sitting on the bench and get to the point where you can't even move it around on your own. Next, we get the axle hung up with brand new hardware. Get it all hung and up there situated like we need it to be. But the next order is going to be a deal with the drums. Now, I could have bought new drums, but I could not find the drums that had the fins on them. I found the right side drums, but they didn't have cooling fins on them. And that Dexter drum with the cooling fin is just a superior design. So I elected to have a facility in my area resurface the drums. But in order to actually resurface the drums and get them ready for new bearings and everything, you want to drive out all the races. So when you get ready to drive out all the races and you clean the drum up and take it to the people, they can resurface it and measure it, make sure it's still the proper thickness, resurface it, make it new on the inside, true the surface for the new pads. And that's what we got done, because as you can see, those cooling fins on there, yeah, it adds a little weight, but they work, and it's a superior design. So we just striving to do the best we can with the trailer and give you the best parts combination. And I feel like I'm building the trailer to the spec that Gator should have built it. So, you know what I mean? You call, tell them I said I'm putting it together the way they should have put it together. Next order business to address the wheel ends and get everything prepped and ready for the new brakes and the new seals and new bearings and new races, reconditioned drums and whatnot. So here we go. Disassembly. A little rust had it locked on, but not much. You want to address your flange surface for your bolts for your main backing plate, and you want to address that wheel end. You want to address that axle end to the fullest. You're going to start out with some general degrease, and then you work with some chemicals. Then you do Scotch Sprite ball on the end to get it really nice. You're not trying to remove any material, file anything down, but you're just trying to get all the residue, all the old grease off, and you'll end up with pretty good results if you just stay with it for a moment. And this is an opportunity where you'll clean out your zerk fitting and everything like that, and you'll get some pretty good results. Also, I'm gonna tell y'all about part of the procedure that was done with that with that little grease gun right there. I'm gonna explain the principle of what I was doing, and I'm gonna get to that. Y'all check it out. Oh yeah, she clean. Now don't get it twisted. Now that thing clean for real, for real. Something you ain't never seen nobody do. Alright, like I said, man, hook up your grease gun to your zerk fitting with everything uninstalled and proceed to pump grease into the axle. The axle oils from the back of the large rear bearing. So a lot of people don't understand that even though it's a grease axle, when the temperature goes up on grease, what happens to the viscosity? It goes up. So when the temperature goes up and the viscosity goes up, all of that grease inside of that axle actually just about turns into a liquid. So it flows in and out of that hole in the axle just because of pressure and going back and forth. So yeah, that grease is dirty. If you serve as an accident, don't pump that out and you proceed to go maybe in 2-3 weeks, pump some more grease in it, you have just introduced dirty grease into the system while you're trying to pump clean grease into the system. Next on the list, we'll proceed to install our Never Adjust AK with the improved stopping compound on the friction material of the pads. And like I said, brand new wiring going in, brand new hardware with that. We're going to put the rear one on. And like I said, we got a complete set of everything. Everything will be undercoated. But let's go ahead and take a moment to prep our drums that are resurfaced. Let's prep those by knocking the old races out, because you never want to install a new bearing on an old race, because a race has a groove worn into it that will destroy the new bearing. So, tip of the day is cleanliness. You do not want to introduce any foreign material into these bearings and races. So clean is the word for the day. We got our trusted bearing and race seal driver sets. The seals and the bearings and the races. First thing we want to make sure we do is have not only the bearings clean, but the tools that are going to be used in the process of installing these bearings clean. Free of debris. Because the last thing you want to do is drive in a new race with a dirty driver and drive sediments or particulates or fine material into the race. So we want to keep it clean. So we want this to be clean. That goes to the big one also. This is a step that a lot of people gonna overlook because they don't clean their tools ever. But clean tools work better. Granddad taught me that. Now we have our handle. And for this one, we're going to use the 81 millimeter because it fits right over the edge of it because we're driving it in that way. Tight, that's good enough. We're gonna be switching these. Then we're gonna bring you over here to the drum where the race is going. This is gonna be your drum. It has been resurfaced. Each one of those lips you see in there is used to hold a race. It has been knocked out. The flat portion before the curve in the hole in the center is where the race sits. So we must drive the race in squarely, not sideways. It has to hit bottom flush, and then we can install the race, the bearing, and the seat. Once you've driven it in, you'll see it bottom out. You will hear it bottom out, and it'll be flush. The bearing sits in there like so. Still free because you didn't bind it up. Take it out, clean all this stuff thoroughly again. Okay, so we got the races in. Now it's time to do the rest of the drums. You got 4, so you got to enter and out a race on all 4 of them. And then you're going to go and proceed to clean it out again very thoroughly. Wipe everything down well and get your bearings prepared. They do have bearing packers. I have a bearing packer, but I like to physically see the grease move through the bearing and pack it as I see fit. So I like to get every wheel. I just like I like to see it, man. It's just one of them things where you if you build engines, you do things with cars, you work with your hands a lot. It's all about the feeling and the sight of it and how it looks to you. So I gotta make sure it's looking right to me, y'all. Okay, so now we got the seal driven in, we got the bearing in place, everything good. We're gonna proceed to install the drum hub assembly onto the spindle. Now, the first thing you're gonna have to do with some brand new brakes is probably adjust the brakes in, because they're adjusted out. They have been opened and closed at the factory to make sure they work properly. You're gonna close them so the drum fits on it. Not so snug, but just barely fits over it. And like I said, you're gonna proceed to install your front bearing. You're gonna pack more grease into that crevice before you put that front bearing on. You're gonna put the front bearing on, your washer and your nut, and proceed to put your safety clip on and your dust cap. And after you completed this 3 to 4 times, you'll have everything done in the reconstruction of your axles minus your wiring. And that's coming next on the Hotshot Haven. Man, I appreciate everybody staying along to the video. Watch to the end if you did, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, man, keep the shine side up, the grease side down. You already know what I say about a hater and a man.